Hey everybody, Crow back again with another item or a pickup that I just kind of want to feature in a separate video. And there's one reason I wanted to feature this, and this is the My Arcade Namco Museum. It's got 20 Namco games in there. It's a bigger form factor than the regular one. I was gonna put this into the regular pickups video, but I just wanted to. I thought maybe I should just make a separate video for this. This comes with a Battle City, Dig Dug 2, Dragon Spirit, Galaga, Galaxian, Mappy, Pac-Man, Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, and right at this point you're like, wait, what? And then Pac-Mania, Pac Panic, Phelios, Rolling Thunder 2, Rolling Thunder 3. Sky Kid, Splatterhouse 2, The Tower of Draga, and Xevious. Now, back when the stores started opening up back from COVID, and they were limiting people in the store and everything, I wound up at Target, and I wandered into the electronics section, and this was sitting on a shelf. No price tag. And I thought to myself, whoa, I haven't seen this before. I kind of knew that this thing existed because I'd seen it at like a CES show, but I had no idea it was out. And I guess it's been out for a while because when I went and scanned it, it was actually on clearance. So this thing normally retailed for $100, $99.99, and Target was selling it for $59.99. And I thought to myself, well, look at all these games, and this is bigger than the other My Arcade ones that I have, so I'm going to get this. So I got it, and without really knowing much else about it, and here it is. This is the device itself, and I still have it plugged in. I will unplug it. So yeah, you do. This isn't battery powered. You do have to have it plugged in, and I've had this for a couple months already. It's a bit bigger than the standard ones that came out in the previous ones I had. This is an example of that. These ones played NES ROMs. This one plays arcade ROMs plus, and I'll get to that in a little while. You might know what I'm talking about if you recognize some of the games on that box. This is battery powered. This is not. This does not run on batteries of any sort. You need to plug this in. It's a micro USB on the back, but like the other ones, we have a headphone jack and volume up and volume down, power switches down here, and we've got a bunch of arcade buttons as it is. And we've got a vertical screen here. And this is just foreshadowing. This vertical screen is kind of the oddity of that. There's a little bit of dust on the screen. Or the oddity I kind of wanted to point out in this video. But let's go ahead and plug this in. All right, there we go. That ain't bad. So this is the menu. And I want you to take note of the screen dimensions, okay? And you can see some of the games fill up the whole square, and some of them don't. Normally the ones down here. Now the thing is, though, the ones that fill up the whole screen are the ones that were arcade games, vertical, things like ZVS. These are actual arcade ROMs. Dig Dug, for example, Galaxy and Galaga. I'm actually surprised Rally X didn't make this list. But then if we scroll down, we see, what is this? Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder 2, I think. And that is, that's like the Genesis game. I think there's a couple of Genesis or Super Nintendo games in here. So this is, especially like Splatterhouse 2. And the original Splatterhouse is in there. That's the arcade game, but that's still a 4:3 aspect ratio. And that's the thing I wanted to focus on in this video. So let's put on something like Pac-Man, okay? Okay, here's the very first thing. Every time you start a game, it asks you if you want the original or full screen. So what this is saying is that oops, the dimensions of this screen in this arcade unit is not the right dimensions. Even it's stretched even further than it would be for regular arcade games. And the only thing on this device that uses the full screen is the menu. So how do we go back to okay, we could put in a coin. There's a coin button, there's a start button. But if I want to go back to the main menu, that's a center button there. I mean, other than the screen, There's nothing really bad about this device. But if we go like back into Pac-Man and say, yes, I want the full screen, it's not that bad because it was already stretched. It was already pretty close to filling up the screen. So, having it stretched is not that, coin. So you can tell it's stretched. Oops. You could tell it's stretched, but it's still a bit playable. So, let's quit the game. And now let's put on something that is this kind of blew my mind. So let's go with Splatterhouse. Let's go original. So this screen is so wide, vertically, that look at the. This is at least the arcade version of Splatterhouse because you're inserting a coin. But look at how much little of the screen the actual game is taking up. It's just a tiny little part. It actually winds up being almost the same dimensions as this little one here. So there's Splatterhouse. Yeah, and it's a fun game. Not bad, but the screen is tiny in relationship. The viewing area is really tiny when you compare it to the size of the device. So that was really silly. But what's even sillier is if you go in here and you say, yes, I do want to play this full screen. Why is this even an option on this device? Because let's go in there. Let's get in there. Come on. Look at this. How is this acceptable at any rate? Look at this. I don't know how well you're seeing this on the camera, but look at how stretched this is. It's silly. It's beyond silly. I can understand. Like, this is totally the wrong size screen for this device. It should have been, they should have gotten something a bit wider. That way, the games that are vertical would have taken up more, would have been a little bit bigger. But also, these games would have been a little bit bigger in their own proper aspect ratio. But not only that, but we've got something like Pac-Man 2 in here. No, we do not want full screen. And again, that's start. And again, this is a Super Nintendo game, I think. Or maybe this is the Genesis version. Maybe these are all Genesis games here. But yeah, so we've got a mix of arcade and we got a mix of arcade and console games in here. Mostly arcade though, but a lot of the games that are going to be console or even like Sky Kid. I don't know if this is the arcade version or not, but let's go like full screen. Let's say, oh yeah, I want full screen. Why was that option? Like, why do you have to select that for every game every time you want to play it? It maybe should have had a menu system. Look at this. This does not look good. It is silly. And that's the only reason I wanted to put this in its own video, because the size of the screen for this device is completely wrong. And then allowing you to take a game that is meant for 4x3 and stretch it all the way to the end to end and let you play that is just beyond utterly ridiculous. I don't know if I would have bought it had I known that. But I have it now. I'll keep it. It's just really utterly bizarre. And I really hope that in the future, My Arcade doesn't pull stuff like this.